What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Just Give Us a Minute.
What's going on? And like we always say about this time, just give us a minute of time to put something on your mind. We got a special show for you guys. We got my guys from NAGA, KC NAGA to be exact, and that's the National African American Gun Association. I got Jeff Maple, who is the president. I got Eric Sanders, who's the vice president. Will you guys, introduce yourselves? Jeff is on the phone, everybody, so you won't be seeing his video. But Jeff, you can go ahead and start for us. Could you introduce yourself for us?
So hey everyone, thanks you guys for inviting us to your show. Again, my name's Jeff Maple, the president of the National African American Gun Association here in Kansas City. I've former law enforcement. I'm a concealed carry instructor. Myself and Eric and another brother, Eric Bowie, we started the chapter back in 2017 just to help educate the African Americans in the community. So that was the basic start of it, and we can share more as we go along.
Good deal. What about you, Eric? Could you? This is our vice president. Could you speak to the people?
Oh yeah, I'm the vice president of NAGA. Name's Eric Sanders. Law enforcement, military, retired fireman, EMT. Always had a liking for firearms. I always respect them. I became an instructor with Jeff, and we've been doing this together for 4 or 5 years. And then we decided to start NAGA. We think that the African American community deserves to understand the good qualities of firearms, the safety aspect, the education aspect, and the training. Good
deal. All right, so I'm a member of NAGA myself, and I've been trying to get my guy Smitty to join too. He lacking behind. But can you could one of you guys give us, matter of fact, Jeff, since you're the president, can you give us an overview of the KC chapter of NAGA and how long we've been going, and give us also a little bit about the national NAGA group?
Okay, so I'll start with the national.
Okay.
The national program started or the national organization started in Atlanta, Georgia, back in 2015. A guy named Philip Smith, he understood that there were gun organizations that didn't have our best interest at heart. So he decided that, with the local folks there in Atlanta, that they felt that they could create a little organization for themselves. He, at the time, thought that only about 30 people would be interested in it, and maybe people throughout Atlanta. And word got around quickly, and it evolved. In the first 5 years, there's over 100 chapters nationwide and over 40,000 members. So it expanded far beyond his vision, which is a good thing and something that was needed. And, with the situations that have occurred the last 4 years, we all understand why it became such a popular attraction.
Right.
So moving forward to 2017, myself and Eric, we got involved in some church training, security training, and then we took our concealed carry classes and became instructors. And then we ran across the NAGA organization and decided that it would be good to have a chapter here in Kansas City. And so we started it. Over the last 3 years, we celebrated our 3rd anniversary this past November. We've grown tremendously over the last year because of everything that happened with COVID and the other societal issues. We believe in education, training, and a family atmosphere. And, that's what we promote. We have a good group of folks, great leadership. And so, we're just looking forward to being more involved in the community. We started last year, or in 2019, COVID happened last year, so we had to slow down, but hopefully in 2021, we'll be able to move forward and, continue to build and help the community.
Okay. Well, Eric, tell us how long the group's been, how long the KC chapter's been going on, and give us your take on it.
It's been going on for 3 years now. I'm proud of the organization. We have a strong, supportive leadership base. We have Marshall Wells. We have Andre Sidney. We got Eric Bowie. We got Tiffany and Tori. Along with we got Apollo and Keith. These guys are dedicated range safety officers along with instructors. Our vision is that we're seeking to maybe attain 30 to 50 to 60 acres of land and set up an outdoor range. Also plan a building there so we can do our training indoors. And I think that that it's a possibility of that happening because now we got our webpage up, KC Naga, KCNAAGA.com, and we've been getting hits. We've up to like 500 hits now since we opened up. We started like the first of the year. So I'm proud of the organization. I'm passionate about it. I think that it's our human right to be able to protect ourselves. And I think that for a long time, African American community have neglected or not gone toward gun ownership. Now that we're embracing it, it feels so good to incorporate safety, education, training to responsible gun ownership in our community. And I think the numbers going to keep increasing until we get close to maybe a couple million in NAGA's membership overall within the United States. It's still growing now.
So let me ask you a question about NAGA, and it's KC Naga specifically. Either one of you guys can answer this. What type of people do we want in the organization? Because you said responsible gun ownership. So what type of people are we looking for?
Well, I can answer part of that, and then Eric can fill in.
Okay.
First we want folks that are, in line with our goals, to educate the African American community, protection of our Second Amendment rights, the education piece, as well as the entertainment value of owning firearms. We talk about responsible gun ownership. We feel that not everyone should own or have a gun, simply because, just because not everybody's mindset is proper to have a gun. So, that's what he talks about. We said when Eric spoke there. So, Eric, I'll let you fill in the rest.
Yeah, I'm with Jeff. I mean, your mindset have to be correct, to where owning a firearm is a lot of responsibility. And then you also want to make sure you have somewhere to put it at to make sure it's safe and somebody don't steal it. And then at the same time, you have to take additional training. Just don't get a firearm and think that's it. You should go to the gun range or go somewhere and shoot probably once or twice a month. And you should tighten up your skills, get your skill setting on par. And at the same time, you should maybe take some classes in situational awareness training. To where de-escalation training, to where if you get into a situation, sometimes it's not good to pull your weapon out. Some people with a short temper, you shouldn't own a gun. If you have a short temper, you should not own a gun. So what I'm saying is you should be having a mindset to where you're trying to not be the aggressor. You should be trying to deter the whole situation. And if you can't deter it, you should just leave. If the situation become a rise to where it becomes violent, sometimes it's best to just leave. But if your life is threatened and you have no other choice, then you have to use your firearm. But make sure you use the GM elements for that.
Yeah, and I think that's good what you said, E, as far as just having that regular training, whether it's, classes or going to the gun range. So, I mean, kind of with that, do you feel like people's lack of knowledge on gun safety is why they have a negative view on guns?
I think the media plays a factor in that. I think the media, if you're watching television and all you see is negative images of guns, and then what they feed you also is that, 70%, 80% of violent gun shootings are relating to just firearms. They don't tell you the complete picture. They don't tell you that 66% of violent gun deaths is suicide. 66%. And then 11% is accidental gun death. So people accidentally shoot themselves with their own firearm. and then you have another 9% that's police. So now when you start adding that up, now you see violent crimes might be close to 10 out of 100%. So you have to understand the bigger picture. It's like, you know, you have a lot of anti-gun advocates out there who believe that you shouldn't own a gun at all. But the numbers are not matching up when they sit out and tell people, well, firearms cause a lot of deaths. No, you go and look at the stats that tell you that more people die on hospital, going to the hospital getting surgery done. More people die doing surgery than anything else. We talking about almost 600,000 people die every year from surgeries, but they don't tell you that. They're not trying to say, well, we need to regulate and monitor surgeons and make sure they're competent enough to go in there and do the surgery on somebody. What they'll do is they tell you 79 or I say 79,000 whatever people got killed by violent gun death, but they're not telling you the bigger picture. They're not telling you that 66% is suicides.
So let me ask you a question. We got a question from Megan. It says, sometimes guns do end up in the wrong hands. Does the organization have any outreach community events to help control this and educate the young people in the inner city?
Right now, we're trying to
we're doing that.
sit down with Grandview.
Hold on, Jeff was about to answer. Go ahead, Jeff.
Also, yeah, I was going to say, in 2019. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Good.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So in 2019, we partnered with a local organization that deals with at-risk youth. We did mentorship for a year with them, and basically what our process was to educate them, adjust their mindsets, and make sure they have the proper mindset as it relates to life in general first, and then evolved into responsibilities of gun ownership, both from a safety standpoint with the young men being in middle school and high school, what happens if they see the gun, etc., as well as the mindset of responsible gun ownership, and also even future tense of, when you get married, if you do things now, you may not be able to own a firearm to protect your family in the future. So we try to start with those discussions and then eventually get them on the gun range and teach them some safe handling of the guns. But unfortunately, COVID stepped in. But we're going to continue that partnership into the future. But we are planning in 2021 and beyond to have different outreach projects. I know we have a meeting coming up next month where we're being involved with a national organization, but they have a local chapter here in the Kansas City area that we're going to possibly partner with them about having some gun lots and things like that. But in our education and our training, we also talk about safety in firearm storage, etc. So we cover a gamut of things. It's just getting that word out there. So as the time goes on, we'll start expanding more into the community.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say this as going on my second year as a member of NAGA. It's been a very positive thing for me. I've gotten my wife into it. She's in the shooting now. She used to be really, really fearful of firearms, and dealing with you guys. And the way we got in was we took you guys' CCW class. And when going through the CCW class, you educated us on NAGA, and we decided to get in. And it's just been so educational, proper gun handling, like you said, situational awareness, different types of training and things like that. So if anybody's out there that's watching and listening, and you like firearms and you're not a felon and you have good intentions and just want to protect yourself and also, get educated, KC NAGA is the best place to come to for our people. We have all different types of people, man. We have chemists, we have engineers, we have law enforcement, we have just regular folk, man, and we all sit down and once a month and we discuss things. We don't always agree, but we discuss things, and man, it's been invaluable, the information and education that I've gotten and that my wife has gotten through our time with that, and we're going to keep on till the wheels fall off. I do want to ask you. I'm gonna go to you, Eric, and I want to touch on. Matter of fact, Smitty, you was talking to me about the civil unrest in D.C. What do you have to say to Eric on that?
Yeah, I just really wanted to know his view. You know, I'm one of those people, man. I've been like really tuned into it, but I like to watch Fox News. And the reason why I like to watch Fox News is because they have it's a certain arrogance that when they speak, I feel like they're speaking from their heart and how they really feel, right? I don't like watered down. I'm gonna go straight to the messengers, and I feel like they give you a real hardcore view on how they feel and how they look at different things. So, you know, I'm watching what was happening on the Capitol, and you know, I'm watching how videos of police letting people in, and how these whites, just stormed the Capitol. And I feel like they knew that something like this would happen. Yet when Black Lives Matter, was out protesting, last summer, it looked like they was ready for a war. So I want to know your guys' view and what you thought about what happened at the Capitol, last week, and kind of what went on last summer with Black Lives Matter as well.
Eric, you kind of froze it, man.
Eric, you still with us?
The most upsetting thing about Black Lives Matter. I'm frozen. What about?
No, you're back now.
Here. You got me?
Yeah, you with us.
I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back. Okay. When Black Lives Matter protest, yeah, I'm back. I'm back with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When Black Lives Matter protest, that was June 1st of last year, and that what I seen was the Capitol recruited the National Guard, State Police, Secret Service, Capitol Department, and the FBI. They had fence on the bottom step of the Capitol, all the way around the Capitol. They had batons. They had shields, bullets. They had dogs, horses. They had the whole infantry out there pretty much. And then what I seen last Wednesday with the Capitol, we seen not really a police presence. The only people out there was Capitol Police, and that they allow great protesters literally assault them, go for their weapons. One police officer, two police officers was murdered. One was hit in the head with a fire extinguisher. To sit back and watch the leniency on how they allow the Make America Great protesters to a point to where they could have used deadly force. Police officers was running from the mob, refusing to use their service weapon. One guy got attacked by a group of Make America Great Again protesters. They went for a service weapon. He fought them over it. When he retrieved it, he didn't try to retaliate, or he didn't try to draw it on them. He was scared that if he would have shot a couple of them, they would have able to take his service weapon from him and kill him. So the thing that upset saw a lot of restraint when it came to Make America Great Again protesting. But with Black Lives Matter, 326 people was arrested. Make America Great Again protesters, only 61 was arrested. They was using rubber bullets on Black Lives Matter. They was using their batons. They was very people. I'm a former law enforcement officer. It hurts. But to sit back and watch how these people, Make America Great Again, go to a point to where deadly force should have been used. Because police officers passed away. They died. They got murdered. And for them to go back to their rooms and take selfies and laugh and giggle, they went to Nancy Pelosi's office, took her laptop, took her mail. That's a federal offense, taking mail. They took the podium of the Capitol. They showed their butts. But at the same time, when I hear about black people get, it was a guy this act of it, he unarmed, and he got to work with the police, and they doing it in the where we are nowhere on that level of being aggressive. But when white people are that aggressive, they get a pass. Mm-hmm. So if we even say the wrong word, that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah.
Jeff, you got any opinion on that, man?
About this? Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I agree with everything that Eric's saying. There is injustice there all around, and, you know, that's something that we've seen, you know, time and time again. So, you know, hoping that this movement, especially that the young people are making, will, you know, start to make a difference. So, you know, we have a long road ahead. You know, nothing's going to be perfect, you know, moving forward. So, you know, it's up to the individual to, you know, make it right. So I think if we focus on ourselves and, you know, how we treat others, etc., you know, that's what's going to make the difference. So, you know, it starts within. As far as my beliefs are, you know, I can only control the things that are within my surroundings. So, you know, that's what I really focus on. I know Eric is a more global guy than I am. You know, I understand what's going on, and, you know, we try to, you know, do the best we can and get the message out to the folks that we can impact. So
I have a personal question when it comes to that. We know how, as black people, we've been treated since we stepped on this country's soil.
Right.
Should we have an expectation for them to treat us like they treat their own? Should we, or is that because I'm asking, is that a foolish expectation for us to have? I mean, we've never been treated fairly in this country, so why would we expect for them to treat us like they would treat their own people?
Well, I would say it's a rightful expectation. I mean, you know, we're created equal under God. So,
yeah.
You know, so regardless of history, you know, and you start seeing a lot of white people, you know, once they get to know, you know, if they are previously had one mindset, they get to know a black person, and, you know, they change their mindset, say, oh, you're different. You know, we've all heard that.
Right.
Oh, you're different than the others.
Right.
Well, no, I'm not. You know, you don't know them. So, you know me, you know, expand your mind and get to know more.
Right.
You know, expand your horizons. And so, you know, if you get to, you know, you just get to learn and know people, then you know that, hey, we are similar. So yes, that expectation should be there.
Right.
You know, whether we'll reach that point,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's a different question.
Okay, because I'm with you on this. A rightful expectation. I'm 100% with you. But is it a foolish expectation? Because if history says we've never treated y'all fairly, why would we have the expectation for them to treat us fair?
Well, look at MLK's dream. You know, I have a dream.
Okay.
You know, so if we may not reach that point, you know, our generation, but we have to start somewhere. Okay. And hopefully, you know, in the future, you know, that's kind of my mindset. What legacy am I going to leave? You know, what am I going to teach my kids and my grandkids? So, you know, so yeah, and you know, me honestly, you know, our generation, you know, for me, the five decade and above folks, you know, we're already set in our ways. So, you know, we can only help the others to be better than us. So, and that's what I challenge my kids and grandkids to do: be better than me.
Okay. In the past week or two, we've had some laws, some bills that are trying to be passed, and it's kind of gun control type of bills. HR 127 is a registration bill where they want you to be registered to even buy a gun or to buy ammunition. Do any of you guys have an opinion on that? I think it's too much control, but that's just my opinion. What do you guys think on that matter?
Hey, Eric, and I can start this, and I'll let you finish it because I know you have more insight about it than I do. But you know, all the registrations, the gun control, you know, I think there's a better place to use our resources and everything else, because you start thinking about it, you do the breakdown financially. What is it going to take to accomplish all this? You know, and you start talking about affecting many lives when. And what the bottom line is that you have a small proportion of gun owners or illegal possessors of weapons that are creating these problems. So the majority, I mean, we have over 300 million guns in this country. We don't have 300 million guns shooting people. So like the writer, the person that wrote in or text or whatever, said what are the safety, you know, what type of safety training and things like that are we involved in? You know, that's one of those things that, you know, we can educate folks and, you know, and increase or reduce the likelihood of someone or irresponsible person having a gun in their possession. So those are the goals that we try to achieve. And, you know, having government regulations on it, I doubt that that's going to resolve the problem.
Okay. Eric, you got an opinion on that? I think Eric might be having some technical difficulties over here. Eric, you still with us? You might want to try to go out and come back in, Eric. Maybe that'll help your system work out a little bit better.
Like I go back to what I was saying about.
Let's see. Come back. There you go.
He's still having some trouble.
Okay.
There you go.
So, you know, while we're waiting on Eric, you know, we have so many gun laws and regulations on the books now that are not being enforced. Mm-hmm. You know, the best thing to do is to, you know, start enforcing them and, you know, getting those processes in place a little bit better. You know, what I mean is, you know, having a law enforcement community connecting with each other, with, you know, the city and county and state and federal governments communicating better to get these, and even the military. You know, we talk about the shooting that happened in Texas multiple years ago, where the guy was, I think, dishonorably discharged out of the military, and then ended up shooting up the church. You know, the locals didn't have knowledge that he was you know, dishonorably discharged. So things like that. Right. We talk about the kid down in Florida where, you know, they had police called to his residence, you know, numerous times, I think over 50 times if I'm not mistaken, but, you know, and then he goes out and does the school shooting. So, you know, the communication piece, that's a huge factor, and, you know, things that we're missing. So, you know, if they implement these laws, you know, who's going to regulate them? And, you know, so there's a lot to it.
Jeff, that's kind of made me think of a situations that occur, you know, because when we talk about, you know, gun control, you know, often, or they talk about it, they typically try to address what they call black on black crime, right? They don't so much as always utilize the mass shootings that they have in the schools or the churches or the theaters, the incident that happened in Vegas where the guy shot down at the concert or whatever I believe they had. Why do you think it is that they target the black community to try to put in gun laws versus those more mass shootings that get more media attention?
Well, I think it's just systemic. I mean, like you said, how we've been treated since we were brought to this country. I think it rolls over into every aspect. What's in the media. We see the black on blacks violence. We rarely. What's promoted more? What's promoted more is the black on black violence. So I think those are the reasons behind the push, the continued push, because the vast majority of media content is the black on black. So I think that's the main reason why. So not just personally speaking. I mean, there's reasoning behind some of the activities that occur. I won't get into that just now, but right. But yeah, so that's just my opinion on it.
Gotcha. And look, like we got E back. E, you with us?
Eric's having some technical difficulties, man. I want to ask this.
I'm back.
I want to get an opinion on this.
I think he's back, yeah.
Okay, but I just want to ask this: when we speak of gun control, right? Why are they trying to control? And I know it's a paragraph, but I just want to know: the vast majority of gun owners are nonviolent people, but they go so hard on this gun control stuff, and I kind of understand it, but I just don't understand. What's your opinion on it? Why do they go so hard on law-abiding people?
I think it's an easy target. In just my opinion, I mean, just from a personal opinion, I think it's an easy target. Like we talk about, the crimes in the Black community, just guns in general. I think it's just it's an easy target, man. They say guns kill people. And it's like people with guns kill people. It's not just the guns that, I'm going to shoot somebody. So I think it's just an easy target. It's an easy target to run on. When you're running for any type of office, whether it's local, state, government, president, it's an easy target, man.
Yeah, I would agree 100%. And then also it's the lack of understanding.
What's really sad about
proper gun ownership.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, E. You would?
Yeah, no, I agree with Jeff. I think that it's an easy target. With me, I agree with at the same time. Historically, this country have always tried to keep guns out African American people's hands. Historically. So if you look at all the gun laws that was ever created, it was always target against us. Always. So you have to look at the whole entire picture. Then whenever they talk about gun control, they're not looking at the number. They're not looking at exactly like I told you about 66% of gun violence is suicides. And they don't never tell the media that. I mean, not but the media never shares that with the general public. They just tell you 79,000 Americans died by gun violence in 2020. But let's add the numbers up. How many died from accidental shootings? How many died from law enforcement shootings? And how many died from suicide? Then you'll see maybe less than a little bit, maybe 10% from violent crimes, robberies and murder and stuff like that. They don't even show you that. Then the majority, like Jeff stated, the majority of gun owners are responsible gun owners, law-abiding gun owners. You get Castile. Castile is a perfect example. Castile had his carry conceal license. He was stopped by the police. But people didn't tell you this behind closed doors. From the time he was 19 to 33, when he died, he was stopped by the police 53 times. Stopped by the police 53 times. Now, they went off and asked two white guys around about his age. It was two of them. And they asked him how many times they ain't been stopped by police. One guy said 0, and the other guy said twice. Now, let's look at the overall picture. Majority police stops, 79 to 80% are black. But when President Obama asked 79,000 police departments, I need to see your stats. I want to see exactly who you're pulling over and stopping. 16,434 said their legal counsel said no. Because they're incriminating them. Because it's a matter. So if you look at America overall, black people are being used as a resource. Jail, you got criminals, jails. You need police officers, probation officers, prosecutors, judges. You got to look outside the box with that.
Yeah.
Because this is a business. Crime is a business.
That's a fact. Yeah. I'm with that. What you about to say, Smith?
Nah, I agree with him, man. It's just crazy. I mean, like you said, the media, they don't share that information. So that's just kind of sad to hear, because I didn't even know. That's my first time hearing that. So it's kind of just sad to hear, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. So is there anything you guys want to let the
that's
people
the
know
reality. And then what else is sad? They don't care.
You said what? Did you say they don't care? Is that what he said, Smith?
I think so.
So let me ask y'all this: what's the future for KC Naga? What's the future going to look like for us?
The future's bright, as long as this. And it's dependent on what Biden and Kamala has in store for the gun organization or the gun world. So and this doesn't just affect the Kansas City chapter of NAGA. It affects all of the gun community. Depends on the restrictions they put in place, and if they decide to take certain guns out of our hands, etc. But the future looks bright regardless, because we're about self-defense, promoting safety. We're not going to get rid of all the guns in the country, so they're still going to be out there, and so that education piece still needs to be there. And also, it's for us, as you know, we're broader than guns. We're trying to mentor, we're trying to change perspectives, trying to just improve relations across the board. Eric and I, former law enforcement, we want to help the relationship with the law enforcement, things like that. So we have a lot of projects that are in the works, and I think it's going to be good moving forward.
Good deal. Anything you can add with that, Eric? About the future of KC?
Jeff, I think we need to develop a relationship, local law enforcement, create some type of relationship, and then also allow the inform the police that we're here to assist them in any way, inform if it's possible. I think that you really help the community when you send a message out to the community about gun safety, education, and training. Because I think that I hear a lot of people say, well, do the African American community really need more guns? I say, yes, we do. We just need responsible, educated, trained gun owners. That's what we need.
Yeah. Well, I agree, man. Well, definitely, appreciate y'all brothers coming on, man. Me and El been talking about having y'all on for a minute now, so I'm glad y'all took the time out. I definitely think it's a topic worth discussing. A lot of people, I feel like, get a little sensitive when you talk about guns, man. But like you said, I think it's definitely something that we need. Looking at what happened at the Capitol, I mean, if they'll storm the Capitol like that, no telling what they'll do locally. So I think it's good to just be prepared for anything. So definitely appreciate you brothers jumping on. El, you got anything else you want to add, bro?
No, I just want to thank my guys for coming on, man. I appreciate your time on this Friday night. Maybe we can do this again later on in the year, if when we get things rolling again, and we can let people know about the new stuff we may have going on. So I just want to tell you guys, I thank you. I appreciate you. I thank you for the education, everything that y'all do for KC Naga, man. It's a good deal. Much appreciated.
And thanks for having us. And, again, just if anybody has any questions, comments, or interest, contact us on our website, KCNAGA
.co. Okay.
.co, yeah. Yeah, KCNagger.co. Yep.
Got you. Yeah, we'll have the information so
Oh, yeah.
people can see it as well.
I'm with you.
Good deal.
All right, brothers. Well, thank y'all again, man. Happy New Year and have a safe rest of the year.
And
All right, you too, fellas.
All right, appreciate it, man.
you too. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.